So the first thing I did was make a SketchUp file of what I wanted to build. You can see here it's pretty simple. It's got a top platform, a platform to hold the pedals, a floor, which isn't really necessary, and a platform to hold the seat. And then on each side there's a side piece that everything screws into. This is tailor-made for my specifications, but if anybody's interested, the SketchUp file is available in the description. So the first thing I did was cut out the side pieces. The first one I cut out by hand. The second one I used a router, with the first one as a template. This is what all the platform pieces looked like. It's a piece of 3/4 inch MDF with 2 pieces of 2x2 for support. At no point in this did I screw 2 pieces of MDF together because I don't really like it. MDF has a tendency to split. So anytime I'm screwing things together, I'm screwing through a piece of MDF into a 2x2. To screw things together, I would first use a 1/4 inch drill bit to make a pilot hole. Then I used a 1/2 inch drill bit to countersink that pilot hole. 1/2 inch is a bit big, 1/4 inch would work. And then I drilled the screw in. This prevents splitting and makes sure everything sits nice and flush. So this one I just finished up here is the seat platform. This is the floor. This one is the top platform, and that is the pedal platform. And that is all of the pieces laid out. So in total there's really only 6 pieces. It's basically 8 cuts of 2x2 and 6 cuts of 3/4 inch MDF. First thing I attached was the pedal platform. You can see I just propped it up on a piece of 2x2, and I just measured the correct height, which gave me the correct angle. Then I just screwed it together the same way I screwed the platform pieces together. Drill a hole, countersink, and put the screw in. So that's what it looks like with the 2 side pieces connected together by the pedals. So this is the seat platform. I wanted to get the holes for the seat drilled before I put it in because it just seemed way easier that way. To do that, I just measured out the distance apart from the holes, and then I used some math to mark out the correct location for the holes on the seat platform. And then I just made sure that everything lines up, and it did, which is nice because I'm not good at math. Then I lined up the seat platform the same way I did the pedal platform, just by measuring its distance from the ground to get the angle correct, and I clamped it in place to stop it from going anywhere. I screwed it in like usual. And then I added more screws to make sure that I don't break it with my fat ass. With these 2 platforms attached, I was able to put the seat in and test out the ergonomics before I got too far. The last thing I want to do is get to the end and realize they were wrong. But they seem pretty good. Next, I put in the floor, which was very easy because it just sits on the ground, so there's no measuring. I just popped it in. It was almost a press fit, and then, surprise, I screwed it together. Then I lined up the top platform, again, clamped it in. You can see it's just a bit too long. I did go through afterwards and route off that overhang. I'm not sure how, but somehow my measurements were off, and I cut the whole thing about 1 inch too long. And that's what it looks like all put together. Really very simple. At this point, I was into it maybe only a couple hours. Then I brought it inside. I mounted up my racing equipment. It's just a Thrustmaster TMX, 2 pedals and a paddle shifter. I don't have an H pattern shifter. At some point I'll probably want to add one, and I'll probably update this to have a shifter mount. But other than that, this thing is done and ready to go. Very simple assembly, took less than a day, cost less than 150 bucks. I could use a coat of paint and maybe like some carpeting for flair, but Other than that, very easy build.